Beyond Limits for this Wednesday
Yeah,
afternoon. It's
yeah,
Wednesday
yeah,
already.
Yeah, Wednesday already. But if you think we're just taking, but we'll probably will play this Stalin. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Limits. We just ask you just to hold a little minute while we bring in our usual tune. We usually start off with the Black Stalin. We can make it if we try. Which is a beautiful tune by any standards.
All right, so here we go.
We want to say again a beautiful good night to all you wonderful people. If you come here to hear all Black Stalin songs, you know you can't hear that in one night. So what we're going to do, we're going to sort of take out some of the most outstanding ones and some of them that we sort of keep doing and we know that you would love. So tonight is a very special night. This one for you. So the trends are broke and they say that reset and jamming. A sort of foreign countries, yes, we start migrating. We lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more, but we see happy times again. For the will to recover in my people, I have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talking nonsense, but the majority of us decide we're not going to run, because now is the time for showing patriotism. Why our country facing its darkest hour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, I tell you one little thing that I want we always remember. What we could make it if we just a little harder. If we just give one more try, life would be much sweeter. From the times we analyzed, that's what was the problem. Yes, we start making very positive moves to solve them. We fire the old gentleman, it just we had walking. And it's a new troop we went and we bring in. Goods will require them new managers not supplying. When election time come back wrong, it's you ones we bring in. But if it's one thing about my people, I could guarantee that they would never ever put party before country. And we country facing its darkest hour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, one little thing that I want we all sing together. When the treasury was full and happy times, someone enjoying. They said move back and laugh until poor people was living. But now the treasury broke and the country come back to square one. Poor people remain on the same old ghetto in John. But look at we economy return today on some footing. It's the same for people 10 days and more that they're taking. And without social unrest for people paying the price. Because they know for the country nothing so much to sacrifice. Why our country facing its darkest hour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, one little thing that I want you always remember, we could make it if we just a little harder now. If we just give one more try, life would be much sweeter. country facing a crisis. As loyal citizens, it's our duty to stay and assist. That's how we know to ourselves there could never become a day when our debts know we country we can repay. Don't want to go, could go, I have no objection. But while outside I want you to have some consideration that your country of birth is in its birthday history. And we must do what we can, regardless where we may be. Why? Our country facing its darkest hour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, one little thing that I want we all sing together. What?
All right.
The center and the
So yep, let's just
AI.
get into it right away. Well, we're trying to get your guest on the line there, Roland. So we'll keep on trying because we can make it if we try.
Of course. I mean, the calypso is so appropriate. We can make it if we try.
Indeed.
You know, one of the issues, and then that you know that is current now will have to do with AI. AI now, well, you know, locally here, they're talking about building data centers and all kind of thing. I mean,
yeah, I think ones
there are all kind of
discussing.
issues. There are those who the pros and the cons, those for, those who are against. You know, but I was doing some little research and thing, and I was watching a little video too last night. And one of the local prominent, she's a professor now. You know, they really want to call her name and but I didn't know, but she was into media too. So you may have an idea of whom I'm talking about. You know, but she's a professor now. And I was taking in the discussion, and I find the discussion very interesting. Because, you know, AI is what the world is going to now. You know, and I mean, that's come
Well,
like
AI, whether you like it or not, that's what's happening.
yeah. And I mean, based on my understanding that AI feeds off of data, say, come like as though like is a cyclical
learning.
thing.
Yeah.
And hence the need for data centers. Because I mean, there are data centers all over America from what I understand. Good. And yet still they still need more space and more data centers outside of America. You know, and that is way out. But AI now, you know, you have many what's the word? Many aspects to it. Because then you'll need the laws in terms of governance. You know, how you use data, how you use the data. You need constitutional aspects of it, good in terms of governance. I mean, who will use, who will have access, that kind of thing, right? In terms of the young ones, because they say especially young people can be very influenced by AI.
Well, they already are in many different ways.
Because I mean, almost everything now is being run by AI. And in terms of AI, very important, especially when it comes not only to everybody, because as long as you're using Google or ChatGPT or anything like these things.
Almost any gadget, hardware or software. Well, of course, the hardware has to work with the software, but it's learning, you know, and it's adapting, and it makes life easy in many cases, you know. I'll just give you off the top of my head. I usually would stream music on my way to work, right? Or once I'm in the car, once I'm driving, I'm streaming music, and you know it knows exactly what I like listening to, what I prefer listening to. So as I tap the app, it opens up on exactly, you know, what I'm interested in listening to.
Yes, because all of these things are governed by algorithms.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I mean algorithms. I mean that is linked to AI.
And then everything is linked because you go home and you put it on at home and it's there, you know. So it's
yeah. I mean, see,
it makes life easy.
Of course, I mean,
you know?
see, if you have ever noticed, usually like YouTube, all these things.
Yeah.
They use AI. I mean, all these things, as we were saying.
Yeah.
Because sometimes by the time if you watch one video, let's say once, twice, 3 times, sometimes by the time you put on the YouTube, it'll come back up.
Or you could be humming a song, and then when you go into YouTube and you search or in the home page, it brings up the song that you were singing. How does it know that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Based on the algorithm will pick up.
No, but it listens. It's monitoring
True.
what it's hearing,
True.
what you're singing. Oh, he likes that song. Like,
And
let's
that's
say
why
you're singing your Stalin song,
Yes.
and then you go and you put it on YouTube and then it comes up.
Understand?
Yes, but how did it know that? Because it's listening.
And that's why AI could be so frightening to some people.
Could be a bit daunting.
Yes, because I don't know if you've ever. I'm sure you that you've seen it on social media, where there's the fear that AI could take over
I know, I
and
see
run
it a lot.
people's lives, or people even run the world. I mean, AI could become a monster.
Well, it's still very new for many people, and for I guess the elderly folk, perhaps, or those.
They really studied here. Elderly folks, they were really studied.
Maybe not.
It might have the one or two.
Yeah, but see, it's relatively new, and anything that's new and different tends to be a little scary, That's why it's good to try to educate yourself as best as you can about it, and in many cases see how it can work for you. You can work with it, even to make some money.
But some video I think I was watching the other day.
Doesn't it gonna take your job?
And I mean, to us,
I hope.
they're saying to us we think it's new, but for quite a while, for a long time,
It has been
I
around.
understand it. It has been around.
It has been. It's just more rampant now, more popular now, more being utilized more now than ever. It's more publicized.
Yes,
but it has been
but-
around for a long time.
Yes,
You're
yes,
right.
yes.
You're right.
And they did this fear because you had the robots and all these things coming
Yeah.
on, and all these robots and things will be managed. Robots taking over your job.
It have people fear mongering out there. Okay?
Exactly.
Well, let's stop that now. All right. So you have people quaking in their boots.
No, but rightfully so, because you may see when you look at cars your cars now in America and these places that are being driven without drivers. I mean, a car can just come and pick you up now.
Yeah, the robo taxis. They have them. As a matter of fact, just recently, but they have their glitches. They're not with all their shortcomings. Huh? There's the Amazon Zooks. I was reading this story recently on here, and it's been working good, But then they discovered a recent flaw recently in the Zooks where it doesn't detect smoke. It's not detecting smoke, right? So there was a place on fire, and the fire services were there on location, and it just kept driving through. It was en route, and it just drove through. Everybody else was stopping, but it didn't detect the smoke. And then after I realized, it's a hard break because people were in the path. You see, so they had to recall about 100 of them for that floor.
Yeah, well, I mean, if
So they
they,
do have their challenges too.
yeah, well, I mean, if you ask me, I believe we're still at this stage of experimental on an experimental basis when it comes to these kind of things.
Yeah.
In terms of transport
We're
and
still in
AI.
that- yeah.
Because not only governing that, but AI will be looking to govern like trains. I mean, instead of you have a driver driving a train,
Yeah.
the same thing would be applied to train
You
and all
see
of these
that
things.
one, partner?
Yeah, for
Trains travel at very, very high speeds.
very high speed.
Right.
Okay, remember in places like Japan and things, these things travel like something about 200 or 150
Yes,
miles per
There's
hour.
super trains out there.
The bullet trains.
I don't want any super train. First of all, I'm kind of skeptical when it comes to trains. I don't mind the old steam trains because I traveled in one of those already in Canada and it was amazing. The choo-choo trains, literal choo-choo steam trains, that was real fun. But you see those super trains, I traveled in the subway as well. And even that I'm a little kind of skeptical with too, because anything can happen. But then driverless now? Nah, boy. I don't know.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
especially when you're dealing
It'll
with,
take a while before I
especially
can
when
move
you're
on to that.
dealing with trains like you see in Japan, the bullet trains and these kind of things.
Yeah.
That goes
think
like about
I might take a chance in
over
Japan, huh? I might, because I trust the Japanese for
the
technology.
technology.
Yeah, and their safety standards. But still, it's a big step for me.
Because I mean, imagine anything going like 200 and something miles per hour.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, there's already
Well, I'll tell
thought
you.
for concern.
I'll tell you something. I traveled at 186 miles per hour already
In what?
on my motorcycle.
Your motorcycle?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't for a very
186 miles per
long
hour.
period of time. Yeah.
What part of Trinidad you travel?
On the B-thumb.
On the B-thumb?
Now, this is a very long time ago. Okay, this is many years ago.
That about 2:00 in the morning?
Yeah, it was. It was about that time. We were coming from a Lyman South, and it was a whole bunch of us, and we were riding, and it was a lot of open highway, and I just cracked it, and it just I noticed because the speed gauge is right in front of you, a huge dial, so you can't not notice what speed you're going at. Yeah, and I remember that. So I know what that speed is like on a motorcycle.
Because talking about that, if you're on motorbikes, I mean,
please don't arrest me, Sergeant Batson. That was a very long time ago. Okay,
it's an unfortunate incident, but I'm sure you'll be familiar with it.
I'm not gonna do that again. Okay,
yeah, because you're in the biking thing.
Maybe, yeah.
But if you remember, down Chaguaramas, there was a rich dude from a rich family, who was riding one of those fast motorbikes.
Okay.
And he was coming from some fete. You remember that?
That was I remember that was in Pier 1.
Yeah. But from what I heard, it was just after Pier 1, just as you're turning Macquarie Road.
That was a real tragedy.
Because I remember some guy I was working with, he was a security guard at the time.
Yeah.
And he told me he passed and he saw the incident.
Oh, wow.
And what he told me, if what he said is true,
it is true.
It
is true, yeah.
He said, apparently, like whatever the motorbike hit when it ran off or whatever, the person body flew into this.
One of those guide wires.
The light, yes. That would be attached to the light poles.
Yeah.
And the speed he was going, it split his body in half.
Yeah.
I heard his body cut in half.
Yeah.
The person told me they actually saw that. So that's the reason why sometimes you have to be careful. You can't be going this kind of speed.
Well,
because if and when something,
I know.
like everybody would never believe, especially when you're on motorbikes and that kind of thing, you always feel that kind of superhero.
Man, I have to admit it does feel really good.
It would.
Yeah, but it's not like every time you come out to ride, you're gonna do that speed, right?
Yeah, I know that.
But motorbikes generally are fast. That's how they engineered to move it at a high speed.
And it tends to kind of encourage you.
Yeah, I wanted to have a talk with Sergeant Batson about that, because when the bikes are traveling and such, when you pull off, you can't ride a motorbike slowly, really.
Yes.
And then it may be dangerous to do so as well when you're riding too slowly.
Yes.
On a
especially on highways and that kind of
vehicles,
thing. With a lot of vehicles, especially if you have a Mack truck or a couple of big trucks behind you.
Yeah. So I guess.
So what we supposed to take the
let's take a break and see if we get your guest on the line.
No problem, man.
All right. So stay tuned.
The men in maroon are coming home, and you could be there live. As part of the We Outside campaign, the West Indies take on Pakistan in an historic 2-match test series in Trinidad and Tobago. Watch and listen across the TTT Limited Network for your chance to win tickets to the matches. Tune in to TTT's Trinidad and Tobago Today Morning Show, Sweet 100.1 FM, Talk City 91.1 FM, and Next 99.1 FM. We'll be giving away tickets to both test matches, including the historic first test at Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba, the venue's first ever international test match. So watch, listen, and win. West Indies versus Pakistan.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the number one talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vermala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices.
Match Windies versus Pakistan. We're going to do that in just a bit, not right now, but we'll be doing that soon. I'll ask you a question, you answer correctly, get yourself a pair of tickets. So we have our guest on the line. So Roland, it's over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex Singh. We have Mr. Kinigil. Mr. Kinigil, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to all your listeners.
Yeah, and for the people listening, if they're wondering who is Mr. Kinigil, he was classified as a slow learner. Probably, Mr. Gill, you could tell the listeners, you'll be better to tell the listeners what your diagnosis was and, your part of your journey, because you're a man that you're pursuing a PhD at the moment, but it will be nice for people to know, a little bit about you and your origins and that kind of thing, and a little bit of your journey.
Okay, sure. My name is Akini Gill.
Mm-hmm.
I had a number of challenges during my school years in Trinidad and Tobago and abroad. Mm-hmm. I have two learning disabilities. Dyslexia have to do with reading, and dyspraxia have to do with motor coordination. So from very early, I had difficulties with my handwriting, with teachers understanding what I write, with my speech. My speech was impeded. It has improved over the years. But music fell in love with me along the way. Despite which challenges I had, music was the only subject that I passed in school. But however, there were challenges there where I would like to play the steel pan, and it took me about 7 years just to hold the steel pan properly, the pair of sticks. So I spent a lot of time behind the steel man, shaking the shak, the tambourine, until my hands was ready to hold the sticks to be able to play the tenor pan, which is located in front of the steel band. So during primary school, secondary school, challenges continued, but I was disciplined, I was determined, and my mother, Elizabeth Ann Sinclair, played a very instrumental role in my success and other private institutions and private individuals, Mrs. Catherine Castro and others. I went on to UE, I have a certificate in music, a bachelor's in musical arts from UWI, St. Augustine. I applied, I won a national scholarship in 2011, and I obtained a Master of Arts in Music Education from New York University. I returned to Trinidad, and I'm currently a lecturer at the Center for Education Programs, University of Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm also a PhD candidate in my second year, pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy in Education. So that's a quick summary of who is a Kinnigan.
Mr. Kinnigan, every time I hear you speak and you talk about this kind of thing, I can't help but getting encouragement from you. And so I want to believe everybody, and that's one of the purpose I decided to have you back here again, although not in the studio, but at least over the phone. Because, these are you're the kind of person that people need to hear. In spite of all your disability, the speech impairment and all of that. I mean, to see you never allowed it to keep you back. And I mean, thank God for your mother, who would have been probably, if not only, but at least one of your sources of strength. Talking about that, for people listening, they would want to know, apart from your mother, was she your only source of strength?
No, it was an entire village. Because when I wrote my book and launched my book entitled From Behind the Bridge to the Impossible Dream, because I born and grew in Laventille, there's a chapter there where it speaks about the village, about teachers along the way who joined, teachers, psychologists, different people. So my mother led the way, but a lot of people came on board to help me, whether it was to give me voluntary lessons, whether it was to pay for speech therapists, to pay for private schooling. So it took an entire village, it took a team, it took that unity and that love and that togetherness to get me where I needed to get to. So that support system was extremely important. And even when I went to NYU, I got that support system there too. So support system is something that is needed continuously.
Listening to you, it just gives, how to put it, it gives credence to the old saying that it takes a village to grow a child. And I mean, in spite of all the negativity and the crime and all of that, it just tells you that if you really have proper people and you have the right village behind you, that will hardly have crime and all these things. You see? Right? Because look at village rally behind you, a whole village rally behind you. And look at you, the product of that village. You understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yes, the village is very important.
Very important. Very important.
For far too long, students with learning disabilities in Trinidad and Tobago have waited for the appropriate resources to help them to reach their fullest potential.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not every child will have the backing of a mother like me or teachers, etc. But if we can make the system, that village, we will have a lot of successful students with different types of learning disabilities moving further, moving beyond secondary school. We seem to be getting them into secondary school. Recently we had what I liked is about six visually impaired students who are now going into Form 1 in Trinidad and Tobago in 2026 after we have repeatedly spent billions of dollars. And you ask yourself if there are proper resources in our secondary schools for these six students to ensure that they do not fall out or they do not drop out of the system, because of lack of resources, which will encourage them to go on to CHC and to do well. But how do we give them the appropriate resources to make sure that they get all the notes? How do we make sure that the students have the resources to put their notes in Braille so they can read, so they can understand? So I have repeatedly called on the government to create an environment, to facilitate the environment for students with learning disabilities to reach their fullest academic potential.
So yes, because yesterday I interviewed, we had here yesterday a man by the name of Mr. Steve Williams, and he was one of the early people. He was formerly the director of the Student Support Services in the Ministry of Education. And he was one of the earliest people since in the early 80s that was responsible for help to put things in place for people with disabilities and that kind of thing, in terms of the extra time and whatnot. And I mentioned to him too yesterday that there's a woman, in line with what you were saying, there's a woman from the Beatum, because she told me, she gave me permission to speak about it, because her son is a guy in a wheelchair. And he used to attend. Now, I know the two people. I know the son, because they have traveled in the vehicle with me already, at least about 3 or 4 occasions. And the situation with them is that the son passed for Success Village, Lavantil Rider, because he's from the Vitam. Now, he actually came from, he used to attend Tranquility Primary School. That's right in Woodbrook there by the cemetery. And because he lives Beatum, they decided to zone him. So they sent him Success Village Secondary. But the problem is, she's telling me there are no facilities there for him. And I asked her, I said, well, then they have some form, because I'm sure that the ministry by now, being that kind of consciousness that, a lot of people and organizations have brought to society and to the ministry, that they would have had at least something to take off in some form that you have a disability or not. And she said, well, yes. And yet still, why did they zone him off and send him to a school that obviously doesn't have any facilities, ramps or anything like that for somebody in a wheelchair? So, that is something that we really have to work on. And there's much that is still needed to be done.
Yes, and we need to work on it in a serious way. Unfortunately, as a country, we have developed a culture where we can speak seriously. Excellent. We are excellent at saying what needs to be done.
Yes.
Who should do what.
Yes.
But we are not excellent at doing it.
Implementing, yes.
We
Yes.
speak it, but we are not doing it.
And because of that, the consequences to all of that is that the people and them suffering, the disabled people or people with disabilities, regardless of what disability, all of those who have the power to do, only talking about it, as somebody was saying, 90-something% talk and about 5% action. And in the end of the day, if the students and them who are paying the cake. So right now, the last time I spoke to her, her son is not going to school, or she doesn't have any intention unless something can be done. Right now, the son will be home. And that is something that we have to bring to the powers that be. Because you can't have a child that passed for school and all that child will could do is sit down home and not do anything. So to all the people who are listening, including you, Anthony Lafon, all the other guys who are listening, I hope that, we can come together and really approach the ministry really and really push this thing because we cannot allow this kind of thing to continue.
Yes, and why someone or the Ministry of Education, don't matter under which administration, hasn't shown that they have the willpower to build a school, to build at least one, at least two, because you are recognizing that these types of students
Thank you very much.
in the SEA to leave the primary to the secondary school, and why you are not preparing for them? Why are you not using the resources? I mean, we can say, let's put 5% of the allotted budget to Ministry of Education towards special needs, some sort of percentage by law. So we can get more help for these types of students.
Thank you very much. Because this is things that I've been saying, and let me tell you something.
It is the private individuals that made their kidney girl who is. I'm not saying that the system did not make a meaningful contribution to my life, but the private individuals that I met along the way made the difference because the system is lacking.
Thank you very much.
For too long.
I agree with you
For too many
100%. Yes, I agree with you 100%. You see, because most of the schools, 90-something% of the schools doesn't really, and let me tell you something, it doesn't really take much. I made proposals already. And I'm sure many other people have made proposals. Because the way the schools that are built, most of the secondary school, it didn't really take much. Good? Because let me tell you something, all they could do is put a small elevator, right? Because if you really check out most secondary school built at the side of the school, right, you could bust the wall, let us say, on first floor, second floor, the case might be. And you could install, right, you put in an elevator. When you install an elevator, you need to dig like a little pit or whatever the case might be. And you could install an elevator, a small elevator. I know Fatima College has one, right? You could install a small elevator on the side of the building, right? And you bust the wall, first floor, second floor, that kind of thing, where you'll have, when the elevator comes up, the elevator opens on each floor. Probably if you want, you could put one on either side of the school, like going to a big school with. So somebody in a wheelchair, somebody in crutches could just use the elevator and how they call it. And most schools, in terms of the toilet facilities, I mean, I've never been to a school and see all the toilets filled, right, from primary school or whatever. Because most schools will have, at least about 12 toilets, and secondary and junior section, those schools have probably about 20 in terms of boys alone and girls alone. Right? Because usually you have the boys section, the girls sections. And if you ask me, about 14 or 15 in secondary schools, then all you need to do is just take at least two of the toilets and make it into one in terms of space. No?
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? Good?
Yes, I follow what you're saying.
Yeah.
And we need to get there. But in the meantime, we need some of our principals who are the manager of the school and manage the school.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, you do not have there. What is the reason for you not keeping the class on the ground floor?
Yeah, well,
yes, you have standard upstairs, but if you have someone in a wheelchair or someone who is visually impaired, there's nothing keeping you back in a major way from keeping that class on the ground floor.
Yeah.
In the meantime, until we get where we need to get to.
Yeah, well, Mr. Gill, could we just stick up in here? We just need to go into a cricket promotion. All right.
Sure.
All right. Well, okay. Well, if there's anything, I'll just keep it for another 5 minutes or so. We just round off the conversation of that. All right. In terms of what you're saying, I agree with you because I remember one of the attendants in Anthony's College, because I broke my neck when I was in Form 4. Right. I remember, God bless all the teachers and Mr. Paul Borley and all of these people, and they came up, and that was the early 80s. They came up with the plan that instead of lifting me up the stairs, they kept me on the ground floor, and they had the teachers coming to me. Good. They had the teachers coming to me, with the exception, and that would be about 1985 thereabout. And with the exception of the geography class, because I wanted to do geography, and when I decided to do geography, geography is a lab now. So it has certain things bolted down and all of that. So you couldn't really move those things and bring them to the ground floor. I thought only the maths class and the geography class, thankfully I had nice students and things used to lift me up to the top floor because the geography lab was on the top floor and lift me down.
Not chemistry?
No, that was geography.
Geography, okay.
Yeah, geography. Right. You can remember certain things that you do with geography too, certain experiments, something, if you do different kind of rocks, whether limestone, whether this, whether that, you can do that too. Good. So, I remember too, I was able to go in the school right there, Tranquility, the same guy in a wheelchair. No, was another guy, a guy from Belmont, not this last one here. And for 3 years, it was brought to my attention that they were lifting up and down the stairs on the 3rd floor. Like twice a day, up the stairs and down the stairs. And when that was brought to my attention, I was able to go there in the school and utilize that knowledge and talk to the vice principal at the time. Well, no, he was the acting principal at the time. And I think he's the vice principal now. And that guy was able to benefit from that. Right? Because I explained to them, I said, well, he only has one teacher being a primary school. He only has one teacher. And it's easy, all you have to do is just switch the class, switch the teachers, and bring his class on the ground floor. And he was able to continue from standard 3, I think was standard 3 was at the time, straight to standard 5. Good, and he was able to pass. I don't really know what school he passed for, whatever. I lost track of him, but he was from Belmont. I think Dennis Street in Belmont. Right? So what you're saying there, but we need people like all of us to come together, because if we don't, though waiting people in ministry and things, they're being paid. I'm not saying that some of them won't be concerned. But you always need people like us probably to form a group or whatever the case might be, form a think tank to keep pushing this, otherwise nothing will ever really be.
An association,
yes.
A voice to continuously put pressure on those in charge to do what needs to be done.
Of course.
Because if you are saying that in 1985, and the same thing is happening in 2026, we are talking about 41 years.
Yes, of course.
Am I correct?
Of course.
So how many billions have we spent on education in the last 41 years? And we have not moved anywhere in terms of proper accommodation for citizens who are born here. Who should not be discriminated against because of how they were born or how they become. As Mr. Anton Lafond says, always says, any moment you can become disabled, you can fall in the road, you can fall in the house, and you need a wheelchair at any moment notice. And why 41 years later we are still at the same place on the ground floor? Yes.
And not only that too, but the bad thing about it, is that the people and them in power, the powers that be, they always tend to pain disabled people. Listen to ministers in the past, and they always speak indirectly in a kind of negative way when it comes to people like us. Though, like, we disabled people just waiting on handouts and this and that and paint as though like you don't want to work and you just want to sit down and depend on social welfare and that kind of thing. And all the time is usually their problem. They created the problem because they didn't create the environment, and nothing could exist without the environment.
Yes, agreed.
You see what I'm saying? All right. So, all right, sir. So, if there's anything nice talking to you, we gotta go to a cricket promotion now. But if there's anything, I will.
You keep up the good work.
Yes, and I will keep on. I will keep on in contact with you. Hopefully, I'll interview you some other time again. All right, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gill. And we will get into our cricket ticket giveaway right now. 2 tickets to give away. Call us 622-4911 if you can tell us. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. Who was the first West Indian to score 400 runs in a test innings?
400 runs.
You know who it is.
But everybody should know that.
But I would say that's why I'm making it really simple. So 2 tickets coming your way for the West Indies-Pakistan game. Just give us a call right now and get those tickets. 622-4911. I'm going to give them to you. 2 tickets. And they're all yours. We're doing this tomorrow as well, and Friday. So all week you have a chance to win yourself a pair of tickets inside every shift. So we're looking at just 4 minutes away from 3. Call us, get the tickets, and everyone's happy. All right, 622-4911. Phone lines are open right away to get yourself that pair of tickets for the Windies-Pakistan game. The question once again is, who was the first West Indian to score 400 runs in a test innings?
So come on, people. Everybody knows that answer.
I know
man.
that it certainly would be too difficult not to answer. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Brian Lara.
Boy.
And that's exactly where it's going to be played as well, at Brian Lara Cricket Academy. So, thank you very much. You won yourself 2 tickets. Let me get your info off the air, okay? Stand by as we close things off once again. Roland, thank you very much.
Hey, man, thank you very much to yourself, man.
And then we'll get ready for David and Heavy inside Under the Radar on Talk City.
Down the street, concentrating on trucking right. I heard a dark voice beside of me, and I looked round in a state of fright. I saw 4 faces, one man, a brother from the gutter. They looked me up and down a bit and turned to each other. Chain. He said, I'll give you $1. I said, you got to be joking, man. It was a present from my mother. He said, I like it, I want it, I'll take it off your hands and you'll be sorry. You cross me, you better understand that you're alone. I heard a dark voice beside me say, would you like something harder? She said, I got it, you want it, my harvest is the best, and if you try it, you'll like it, and wallow in a dreadlock holiday.
Sure.
holiday. Don't like Jamaica. Hey, I love her. Dreadlock holiday.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons, powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music.
As Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business. And a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power. The power.